Hello everyone, and welcome to the Week 16 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We begin in Portland, and the best game of the weekend between the Timbers and FC Dallas. It was an even, well-played match, which was marred by a headbutt in the 41st minute. Dallas left back Jair Benitez is guilty of it when he goes in on Portland's Frederic Piquionne. But here's what you might be missing if you only concentrate on the headbutt. Benitez initiates the confrontation by kicking Piquionne right in the shin with the ball nowhere in sight. Referee Armando Villarreal did not issue any cards on the incident. It was not a fun day for Piquionne, who also took a hand to the face in the 63rd minute. This one came from Zach Lloyd, who was not called for the foul. But on these plays where one player is trying to get away from another, it's so tough to judge intent. Remember the red shown to Jackson against Vancouver earlier this year? And a very similar play happens this weekend in the Colorado-San Jose match. This time it's Nana Adekora taking the brunt of a Deshaun Brown hand to the face. To me, regardless of intent, both of this weekend's plays are reckless and deserved a yellow. Staying at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, where referee Jorge Gonzalez sought the advice of his fourth official, Fotis Bazakos, before issuing his 18th minute red card to Colorado's Atiba Harris. I think Gonzalez nailed it. Look at how Harris's left foot goes flying, studs up. This could have easily been an ankle-breaking tackle. Endangering the safety of his opponent? You betcha. Red card. Gonzalez also made an excellent decision in the 79th minute when Marvell Wynn shoulders Chris Wondolowski in the box. Wynn wins that challenge fair and square. No penalty. But the incident everyone is talking about took place in the 48th minute when San Jose interim head coach Mark Watson, in his first game in charge, kicks the ball into the field of play, and Colorado's Henry Thomas takes exception. You can be sure the Disciplinary Committee will be looking at this one, because beginning in 2013, bench staff, players, and technical staff can be suspended and fined for entering the field of play at any time, no matter what the reason. Bazakos keeps some of the San Jose players from entering the field, but does Colorado coach Oscar Pareja cross the line when he tries to help Henry Thomas calm down? Even though a whole half of soccer was played, the incident was not forgotten at the final whistle. Both coaches were jawing at each other at the end of the game. The directive about entering the field of play is just one of 3 new initiatives of the Disciplinary Committee in 2013. The other 2 are mass confrontation and hands to the face or head. Well, we found 3 potential hands to the face offenses in the Columbus-Montreal game. First, Federico Higuaín is caught touching Hassan Kamara not once, but twice. Then, in the 83rd minute, Kamara gets into the action, putting his hands on the Crew's Josh Williams, who was complaining about an elbow. And then the third offense, Montreal's Marco Di Vaio helping Tyson Wall clean his nose with a finger to his face. We'll see if any of these players face repercussions for not keeping their hands to themselves. I thought referee Matthew Forrester had a good game in Columbus. In the 81st minute, yellow was the right call on this reckless tackle by Danny O'Rourke on Felipe. And earlier in the game, Forster did well to allow for advantage on the Crew's opening goal. Dominic Cordero is clearly fouled by Kamara, but the referee allows play to continue. Advantage probably should have been given in the 32nd minute at RFK Stadium. Stephen Caldwell fouls DC's Dwayne De Rosario, but Saini Nayasi picks up the ball and he's making a beeline toward goal. However, the play is called back by referee Hilario Grajera. DC coach Ben Olsen claimed that Grajera had a, quote, poor night, and he was likely referring to 2 plays. First, on the Toronto equalizer in the 30th minute, DC defender Brandon McDonald claimed he was made a ladder by Toronto's Robert Earnshaw. But I don't think Earnshaw is holding McDonald down or gaining an advantage from the mid-air collision. There's no way McDonald is getting any higher in the air. Good call by Grajeda to let this goal stand. DC were also fuming in the 89th minute when Toronto's Darryl Russell bloodies Daniel Woodard with an elbow. With the advantage of replay, we can see that this is a red cardable offense. Look at Russell's arm at the start of the play. It's extended and straight, no problem there. But at the last minute, it looks like he cocks his elbow right into Woolard's face. Now, we're not swayed by blood or black eyes here, but in my opinion, that was an intentional elbow. Russell only gets a yellow. But Olsen and United were also gifted a penalty kick, in my opinion, in the 18th minute. A lot of the debate centered around whether the foul was committed inside or outside the box. But from the angles we have, I'm not even sure there was any contact to begin with. If there was any, I don't think it warranted that fall from Nick DeLeon. The penalty given in Vancouver was a no-brainer. Revs rookie Andrew Farrell not only puts a hand into Kenny Miller's back, but I believe he also runs into Miller's shooting leg, which is what makes the Whitecaps forward trip himself up. And Farrell doesn't even protest. The Disciplinary Committee will also have a play to look at from this game. In the 76th minute, Whitecaps rookie Kekuta Mane doesn't look like he makes enough of an attempt to avoid goalkeeper Bobby Shuttleworth, and Mane's trailing leg nicks the keeper in the head. Now, the committee has handled boots to the heads before this year with varying degrees of punishment. There was Stephen Lenhart's play on Mario De Luna, Victor Bernarda's on Kenny Cooper, and recently, Obafemi Martin's on Gabriel Farfan, which saw a red card rescinded a few days after the fact. In my opinion, despite the fact that Mane gets a yellow, I think there is definite grounds for a suspension. And we wrap up with a 61st minute yellow card for a foul that probably should have gone the other way. Russell Tybert is whistled for the foul and caution, but it's clear that it's New England's Kellen Rowe who hauls him down with two hands. Is it time the MLS Competition Committee looked at a process for the rescinding of yellow cards? When you add the Marcelo Sarvas-Ned Grabavoy incident from last week, when LA manager Bruce Arena was calling for the yellow to be rescinded for simulation, there might be enough of a case for it. That's all we have for this week. See you next time.